Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this multi-locational meeting of the Taxi and General Committee being held on Friday, the 14th of November, 2025. My name is Councillor Shane Williams, and I will be chairing this licensing meeting today. The meeting is being live streamed and recorded and will be made available to view via the Council's website, except for discussions involving confidential or exempt items. Therefore, the images and audio of those individuals present and or speaking will be publicly available to view via the recording on the Council's website. Can I check the following officers are present, please?
Good morning, Chair. Lee Morgan, Licensing Manager.
Good morning, Chair. Sandra Lewis-Williams, Assistant Licensing Manager.
Good morning, Chair. James Campbell, Solicitor.
Thank you all, and can I welcome the supporting officers from the Licensing and Committee Services who are present in the background. Please make every effort to attend. If you lose connection, the meeting will continue and the committee services will try and help you re-establish connection if you do lose connection. We'll now move on to the agenda. I've had one apology from absence from Councillor Walter Williams. And just to remind you, the councillors and officers have the personal responsibility to declare any personal and or prejudicial interest in respect of any item of business on this agenda in accordance with the Local Government Act 2000, the Council's Constitution, and the Code of Conduct for both councillors and officers. Please indicate if you have any such declarations. There's no indication, so I'll now move on to Lee Morgan from Licensing.
Thank you, Chair. Can I welcome all members to this morning's meeting of the Taxi and General Committee. Members, this report for your consideration and determination this morning relates to fees for a number of licence types, which include taxi and private hire vehicle driver licences, vehicle licences which will include both hackney carriage and private hire, and the private hire vehicle operator licences. Some of the animal licences that the council regulates, street trading, marriage venues, sex establishments, and pleasure boats. Members, you'll note at Appendix 1, there is a list of existing and proposed new fees for the range of licence types I referred to above. If we perhaps look at the hackney carriage and private hire vehicle driver vehicles and private hire operator licences at 5.6, you will note the proposed increases that are proposed this year. Paragraph 5.7 details then how that will effectively look if members do approve any increase to fees. In relation to the vehicle and private hire operator fees, members, I need to appraise you that should you approve the increase, then they will be subject to a further public consultation for a period of 28 days, which must be in a local newspaper. That is something that we do whenever these fees are amended. If there are no objections received to these fees, should you increase them, then they would come into effect at the end of the consultation period of that 28 days. There has been a public consultation already on the fees proposed. That was done back a few weeks ago now, between the 17th of September and the 8th of October. There have been some comments that have been received in relation to the fee types. There were two responses in relation to taxis and taxi drivers, and then there were three responses then in relation to animal related fees. And you can see the responses that were received then within your report bundle, commencing at page 21 through to page 23. Members, we have a duty to recover costs of the licensing regime and to manage our services effectively and efficiently. By not increasing fees, this could lead to an increased burden and ultimately will be passed on to CCBC, council tax and ratepayers. Members, I would just highlight to you that the fees for animal or dog breeding, selling of animals as pets and scrap metal are the responsibility of the lead cabinet member and the head of my directorate, and so you won't be asked to approve those fees today. That will be for the lead cabinet member to determine. Members, I know you would have read the report and will have seen my comments throughout. Perhaps what I would do is, subject to any questions that you perhaps would have, I would ask you to consider and determine the fees as detailed within Appendix 1 of this report to take effect from Monday the 17th of November. That's next Monday. And to approve the advertising of the proposed fees for vehicles and private hire operators. Chair, perhaps I propose to hand back to you now. I can perhaps answer any queries, questions that members may have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much for that, Lee. Are there any questions regarding these new proposed fees? Just one from me, Lee. I noticed there was a small response, 2 responses from the taxi the taxi drivers or operators. I don't know how that compares with other years, but often it's referenced how we do with compared to other local authorities. But that's not always easy to gauge because local authorities got different demands and operate in different ways. Because I see in Appendix 4 that there's some comparison with the figures of the local authorities, but others is not available.
You're quite right, Chair. Our operation from this building, the cost of the licensing service will differ substantially, potentially, to other local authorities. The way that we perform our work, their level of fees, the number of drivers, vehicles will differ between the local authorities. So it's never easy to perhaps, whilst it's in there for information, the cost those other authorities have will be their own operating costs, dependent on obviously staffing and building costs, etc. So and the infrastructure they have. So yeah, you're right. Really, it's yes, there were 2 responses to the consultation on this occasion from in relation to taxi fees. In previous years, we have had more representations on the fees. You are quite right.
And just to confirm that if we approve this, then there will be a further period of consultation, and they've got another chance to make representations.
Not in relation to the driver fees, but in relation to vehicles and private hire operators. That will be the case, yes. There would be a further period of 28 days in which both licence holders, applicants and members of the public would be able to comment on the proposed fees.
In response to operators that I meant.
Yep, you're right.
There's nothing further from me. I don't know if anyone wants to make any comment. If not, then the recommendation... Oh, sorry, Councillor, please.
Right, fine, thank you, Chair. All I wanted to know, really, I don't see nothing here. I haven't gone right through the report yet, but I don't see on the age of the vehicles. Is this taken into consideration right from day one? They start to get their licence off us forever in the day, or how does it operate, please? Or a simple operation then?
Okay, Councillor Priest. So these are fees we are looking to charge for a licence. There is no fee which is set on the age of the vehicle. Essentially, a vehicle fee is for a year. There's a 3-year driver badge, so there's a fee for that. And obviously for for the private hire operators, then there's a range of fees between 1 and 5 years. But it's not dependent on vehicle age, though. These fees they are charged, for per applicant per license type, if that helps at all.
Fine, thanks for that information. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Priest. Well, if there's nothing further, then, as I say, the recommendations are on page 1 at 3.1. We consider the fees proposed in the report as outlined in Appendix 1. And subject to 1.2, determine the fees for 2025 to 26 for implementation from 17th of November 2025. Approve the advertising of the proposed fees for Hackney Carriage private hire vehicles and operators for 2025-26 for 28 days as part of the statutory consultation. Do I have a mover? Sorry? Oh, sorry, Councillor Adams.
It is just to follow that up, Chair, to actually formally move the recommendation.
Thank you very much for that, Councillor Adams. Is that seconded?
I'll second.
Thank you very much for that. We'll now go to the vote. Okay, thank you very much. That's unanimous, and that brings us.
Sorry, Chair, but I haven't voted. It hasn't come up on my computer. Councillor Priest.
Okay. Are you for or against, Councillor Priest?
I am for, Chair, definitely. Yeah.
And,
all right.
And Councillor Gordon?
Yeah, same with me, Chair. Nothing come up on my screen either. I'm for.
Okay, thank you very much. There's no one else that has not voted. Then that's carried. Well, that's it. We've now reached the end of the agenda, and I'll now close the meeting. Thank you all for attending. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, all.